ensure that we have more fish now and in the future.
In a replenishment area, fish are free to grow and reproduce. As their populations increase, more fish will spill over into other areas where fishermen can increase their catch and their income.
I support the establishment of a marine protected area on my island.
I support the establishment of marine protected areas on my island.
I support the establishment of marine protected areas on my island.
I support the establishment of a marine protected area on my island, and you should too.
And you should too.
And you should too.
And you should too.
See the future with Bahamas Protected.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the Prime Minister warns about broad Omicron exposure as the government ramps up free testing. What happened before a Defense Force officer was shot and killed in an episode with police? And Bahamians pause to reflect on a majority rule. The Bahamas tonight starts after this.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC's Superfast Extreme Internet Bundle. Make Christmas sparkle. Sign up today.
Good evening, I'm Desmond Saunders, and welcome to the Bahamas tonight. The nation's chief announcing enhanced measures to monitor and control the progress of the COVID-19 pandemic in the Bahamas. During a national address last evening, Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, warned about the inevitable exposure to highly transmissible Omicron variant, noting the government will continue the delicate balance act of managing COVID-19 and keeping the economy going. Keisha Adderley reports.
In spite of new case numbers that have quadrupled the record numbers of previous waves of COVID-19, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis is holding to the position that COVID-19 can't be allowed to kill the economy.
We have more than $10 billion in debt, and the only way forward is through sustained economic growth. I spent much of 2020 and 2021 traveling the country from north to south, and what I saw in home after home and in community after community convinced me that the economic crisis, made worse by closed borders and lockdowns, caused at least as much pain and anguish as the health crisis. Since March 2020, we've had a dashboard for COVID cases. But what if over the same time we had a dashboard that showed how many small businesses were closing, or how many Bahamian families fell out of middle class into poverty?
On Saturday, a whopping 818 new cases of COVID-19 were reported by health officials. The Prime Minister notes, however, those sobering statistics are met with game-changing data, including upwards of 150,000 vaccinated persons left much less susceptible to severe illness or death. Vaccinated or not, however, the Prime Minister says everyone should prepare for a touch of the Omicron variant.
It's so transmissible that nearly all of us are likely to face multiple exposures to the virus in the coming weeks. And the question for every Bahamian is, how ready will your body be to fight off the virus? If you are vaccinated, and especially if you are vaccinated and boosted, you have given yourself an excellent chance at experiencing the virus merely as an inconvenience rather than as a life-threatening disease.
A virtual town meeting is set for Tuesday to accommodate questions, and a website will be set up to centralize information about tests, vaccines, and all things COVID. This as 50 new nurses and a team of doctors move in to fortify health services, and free testing accommodations more than double.
The 400 slots we offer daily were filled very quickly. So we expanded the number of free tests to 800 today. And we will offer 1,000 a day beginning on Tuesday. We'll also, of course, be expanding free testing nationwide. We've also started the distribution of free medical-grade masks at clinics and at vaccination sites in New Providence. In the coming weeks, we will be distributing these masks at schools for the teachers who are working there now and in churches as well.
The Prime Minister says the surge did not come by surprise as officials continue to monitor conditions in the U.S. The only thing he says we can do in such uncertain times is to stay flexible and learn from the science. Keishla Adderley, ZNS Network News.
On Saturday past, the government implemented free testing utilizing sites at the Kendall Jill Isaacs Gymnasium and the Mallory Resort. Press Secretary at the Office of the Prime Minister, Clint Watson.
Persons logged on, they signed up, they turned out. Everyone was extremely pleased with the level of service. There was no wait, there were no lines. They were able to walk straight through, receive their test, leave, some of them even before they could get in their car, getting the results. And so we're extremely pleased that the process is very organized. It's efficient. People feel safe. People feel as though there is some level of protection and confidentiality. And so we're excited about it. Prime Minister, as you would be aware, has given us a mandate that we can increase the amount of tests that we can do on a particular day. So we're excited about that. On Saturday and Sunday, there were 400 that we get the capacity to do. He's allowed us to increase that to 800 and then to 1,000.
Well, the country has reported 349 newly confirmed cases of COVID-19. This according to the latest health dashboard. New Providence continues to record the majority of new cases with 314. Grand Bahama follows with 14. 1 case is reported in Abaco, 1 on Eleuthera, 11 in Exuma, and the location of 8 cases are pending. 47 cases have a history of travel within the last 14 days. Males account for 165 of the number and females 184. 110 people are hospitalized, 5 of them in the intensive care unit. The overall case count now sits at 28,968. Of that number, 5,812 cases are active. The death toll remains at 717. While health officials continuing to track the progress of the COVID-19 vaccination campaign, as of January 8th, 156,777 persons were fully vaccinated. According to the dashboard, some 147,819 persons have taken 1 dose of COVID-19 vaccine. Combined, they account for 312,840 doses administered. There is still no definitive date as to when students can return to in-person learning, as government and health officials continue to monitor ballooning COVID-19 cases in the country. Several weeks ago, the Ministry of Education announced that the planned return to hybrid learning for January would be pushed back at least 2 weeks. The nation's leader weighed in on the likelihood of that happening as the Bahamas sees a surge in new cases due to the Omicron variant. Cleopatra Murphy reports.
Government continues to await guidance from health officials as to when students can return to the classroom for face-to-face learning. This is as COVID-19 cases in the country continue to soar, hitting 818 new infections on Friday. Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis, however, is optimistic that students can return sooner rather than later.
The good news here is that the variant that is rampant does not, in fact, have the consequences as previous variants. And we are watching that and we are analyzing it now. The medical team is analyzing the consequences of it. We do note, though, that we yet have vaccines for children and we are working assiduously to have it in. We also note that vaccines are not available for children under 5 years of age, which will impact our preschools. And we intend to at least try to have very soon vaccines for children in the country.
The nation's leader adds that the state of COVID-19 in the country is fluid and officials continue to monitor the situation. As for how the unions representing teachers feel about the continued absence of in-person learning, both the Prime Minister and Minister of Education, Vocation and Technology, the Honorable Glenys Hannah Martin, say education stakeholders have been engaged.
We've been in dialogue with the unions, the BMU and the 2 teachers unions on the issue of suspending school opening for 14 days. They're in full agreement with that decision. So we have to see what the advice is as we get to the end of that 14-day period. As the Prime Minister has indicated, the school we're looking at today really should have been a summer repair program. It's a little more extensive than that. I'm being reminded that the completion date for this should have been April of 2022. And the contractor has been so diligent and excellent if you look at the quality of work that's being done.
Hannah Martin anticipates that school repairs will be completed by January 11th, at which point officials will see how they can resume. The nation's leader says with work almost complete, the only reason schools remain closed is the pandemic. He also addressed school remaining virtual while other establishments are open.
Knowing that we don't have vaccines in the country for children, they are more susceptible to contracting the virus than those who would have been vaccinated. And if they were to contract the virus, the outcome would be far different than if they were in fact vaccinated. Do we take that chance with the lives of our children? I think not.
The Prime Minister, however, says government is aiming to have school resume in the hybrid format as quickly as possible. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Tune in to the morning edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, at 6:30, and the National Report live at 7 p.m. All right here on the ZNS Network.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Shell Holiday Extravaganza.
Hear that? If you listen closely, you can hear the heartbeat of a nation. That unique sound of a great country pounding with colorful history, a rich culture, and unwavering ambition. When you look around, you recognize its pulse. The people who love to celebrate, who identify with triumph, a people who know how to be our brother's keeper. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians, Bahamians helping Bahamians.
Best rate, no delay. Best rate, no delay.
BTC gives more savings on the best fiber internet. It's super fast with super savings in every package. Compare and see for yourself. Enjoy the best home internet experience for all your work, study, and entertainment.
Best rate, no delay. Best rate, no delay.
Visit a BTC store to sign up for the best internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
Last year, we couldn't celebrate Christmas as we wanted to. So for this year, we had everything planned. 100,000 watts of lights, 10-foot-tall tree, best table ever, custom t-shirts, DJ, and we also had Uncle Billy, who forgot the KFC in the car with the keys inside.
Step back.
With KFC Junkanoo Mega Pack combos, you can enjoy the holiday season this year no matter what. Savor this Christmas with Junkanoo Mega Packs, only at KFC Nassau.
My name is Kai. And my name is Caitlin. And we attend St. School. And we love watching the ZNS Kids Club. My name is Kyle Jones. I go to one-on-one preschool, and I love watching the ZNS Kids Club.
Hi, I'm Toronto Fairview Academy, and I love watching the ZNS Kids Club.
There's nothing as powerful as knowing where you belong. No more waiting. It's time to come home. Come home to friendly smiles. Come home to convenience. Come home to more interest on savings and lower fees. Come home to our bank and your bank. Come home to Bank of the Bahamas, your bank of solutions.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 9th Fifth Terrace, Centerville, right in the heart of the medical service epicenter of Nassau, Bahamas.
Fixed and mobile services provided by Cable Bahamas Business Solutions helps our customers help their customers adapt to the new way of paying for things. Digital Wallets makes your transactions faster, more convenient, and secure. Whether it's using a debit card at the grocery store or making online payments for your monthly expenses, Digital Wallets powered by Cable Bahamas Business Solutions makes it better. For more information on our fixed and mobile services, contact the experts at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Well, thank you so much for staying with us. True wreaths laid at the Farrington Road Lyndon Pinling Center today in commemoration of one of the nation's most defining moments, majority rule. As we celebrated today, a culmination of more than 25 years of the Bahamian suffrage movement. The historic day on January 10th, 1967 endowed every Bahamian with fundamental freedoms, including the right to vote. Some 55 years later, Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Brave Davis, calls the observation of the day symbolic of just how far we've come.
Majority rule is a major triumph for democracy and freedom, humanitarian principles that we hold dear and near to our hearts. These principles are also the chief philosophical cornerstones and pillars on which this country was built and will sustain us for generations to come. We must never allow our detractors to minimize, trivialize, or relegate this great day and event to the scrap heap of historical irrelevance. To do so is to dishonor the vision, memory, and legacy of those great, courageous souls on whose shoulders we stand.
Minister of Foreign Affairs and Progressive Labour Party Chairman, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, acknowledging that majority rule, although a reminder of our past, is also a reminder of how much more work must be done.
So majority rule led also to national independence, led also to the changing of the law so that today everyone over 18 can vote. At the head of that movement was the Progressive Liberal Party. But Sir Lyndon Pinling left us a charge. Now that we have majority rule, the charge is economic empowerment.
Church service was among key activities in observance of majority rule. Today, the event taking place at Living Waters Kingdom Ministries. Carla Palmer reports.
This day, Monday, January 10th, 2022, marks 55 years of majority rule in the Bahamas. The service of Thanksgiving, organized by the Bahamas Christian Council, is another anniversary in acknowledgement of the progress made toward national development advanced by this group of persons.
Thank you for those freedom fighters who answered your call. Thank you for this Bahama land. Thank you for the men and women who see it fit to fight for what we are celebrating today.
And so for another year, the names of those freedom fighters were read one more time in recognition and appreciation of their service and sacrifice.
The men who were sworn in as members of that 1967 Parliament were Prime Minister Lyndon Pinling, Andros Kembe, Deputy Prime Minister Arthur Hanna, Anstown, Preston Aubrey, Eleuthera, Clarence A. Bain, Andros, Mangrove Key, Alvin Brennan, Harbour Island, Mallow Butler, Bainstown, Clifford Darlin, Angliston, Elwood Donaldson, Kalani, Randall Fox, St. Barnabas, Arthur Folks, Grantstown, Carlton Francis, Winton, Warren Lavarity, West End and Bimini, Curtis McMillan, Fort Charlotte, Uriah McPhee, Shirlair, Maurice Moore, Grand Bahama, Edmund Moxie, Coconut Grove, my father, who I love dearly, Jimmy Shepard, St. Michael's, George Thompson, Eleuthera, James Thompson, Fort Fincancel, and Cecil Wallace Whitfield, St. Agnes. These are the names of the 20 members of Parliament that ushered in majority rule and formed the government of the Bahamas.
While majority rule is observed on January 10, 1967, the movement had begun long before, in 1942, with significant events leading up to that day. First Vice President of the Christian Council and Senior Pastor of Bahamas Harvest Church, Mario Moxie, hadn't been born yet when majority rule was ushered in.
I can only imagine the sense of pride and dignity in the hearts of the men who had the privilege of being part of that historic occasion in human history.
Delivering the sermon, Senior Pastor of Living Waters Kingdom Ministries, Apostle Raymond Wells, called on Bahamians to learn how to commemorate and appreciate our history. He declared that 2022 means better, as majority rule initially started the groundwork.
Majority rule means better. No more crumbs. The whole loaf. Good God, from Zion, whether you're black or white. Glory to God, better.
During that same ecumenical service, a call was made by Pastor Moxie for a National Museum of History to properly recognize Bahamian contributors to nation building. Carla Palmer, ZNS Network News.
Leader of the opposition, Michael Pintard, reflecting on today's historic observance. In a statement, Mr. Pintard said, as we pause to recognize the struggle and sacrifice of the Bahamian people, many of whom, through collective organization and agitation, peacefully ushered in majority rule, we celebrate the strength, courage, and determination of our people that fought for the majority's voice to not only be heard, but respected. While Bahamians from all political and social spectrums reflecting on the significance of majority rule today, leading historian and associate professor of history at the University of the Bahamas, Dr. Christopher Curry, calls majority rule a defining moment in our country's history and an event symbolizing the promise and equality and a level playing field for all Bahamians.
So ultimately, you see that the day that we mark as majority rule is really emblematic of the maturing democratic state of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. By the way, the term the Commonwealth of the Bahamas is, as a nomenclature, going to be adopted 2 years later in 1969, and also, I would argue, accelerating the pace towards independence, which occurs in 1973. So I would argue 69 would not have happened without 67, and certainly 73 would not have happened without 67. And it can also be seen as the bookend of the Quiet Revolution, that term by Doris Johnson that has been made into her seminal book, which expresses really this whole period of mass demonstrations and the mobilization of the masses behind political change, epitomized in both the Burma Road Riot and the General Strike in '58, and of course Black Tuesday in 1965. So all of these events can't be isolated on their own, but seen rather as a groundswell of mass participation and political awakening that culminates with an event, a singular event in '67 that turned the tide on an oppressive system towards a progressive system.
Dr. Curry says a dream and ideals achieved in 1967 should navigate our efforts for the future.
As I believe each and every new generation of Bahamians should look at the promise and the potential that 67 holds, all right, as an ideal. The dream of 67 should not die with our new generation of political actors and thinkers and Bahamian electorate, who should always think about how we can advance democratic principles even further, whether it be in gender equality issues, whether it have to do with local government being established and expanded as we are moving towards local government elections this month, and even reform of our electoral system and debates.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Tourism today. Bahamas tourism today.
I was born here in Auckland. So I was born in Morant Bay. growing up as a child, the doctor would show up maybe every 5 or 6 months. A doctor would come in from Nassau because back then we didn't have an airport here. If there was an ailment, if you had a problem, if something was wrong with you, Mom would go into the bush, like every household, and she would pick out a certain bush and she would boil it. I knew a lot about the bush growing up as a child, but when I returned back to Auckland some 10 years ago to live, my interest was like stirred back into bush tea, the bush medicine, because I knew there was a lot of medicinal benefits attached to bush teas. Straight ahead, we have an area that is just with rock bush. Now, the rock bush is a throat herb, which is good if you have sore throat, laryngitis, you have a problem. If you don't have, back in the days, if you didn't have a toothbrush or toothpaste, you would beat the rock bush and then you would use it to brush your teeth. I create my own products. I make a line of seasoning, bath salt, bath soaps, tinctures, pepper jellies, pepper sauce, herbal teas, and we offer tours around the island of Auckland and Crooked Island. A typical work day for me starts like 6 o'clock in the morning. I get up, I like to go into the woods. I love to look at my herbs. I go and water my plants. I go to the farm. Just an abundance of herbs here that I enjoy meddling in and making the different teas and the blends, and you will taste some. I want you to taste some. Some are bitter and some are sweet.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home health care supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
We must make sure that your mission is intact.
Yes, Mom!
Agent 1, what is a touch? Physical contact, Mom. Agent 2, what is a good touch? Touches that make you feel alright, Mom. Such as? A high five, a handshake, even a kiss, Mom. Good. Now, Agent 3, what is a bad touch? Touches that make you feel not so good, Mom. Like a slap, a kick, a pinch. And most important, if someone touches your private part. And what do we do when someone gives us a bad touch?
You tell a trusted adult, Mom.
For help, Mom. Tell them, don't do that, Mom. Agent, I see that you understand. Now it's your mission to spread this information. Just remember that good touches are okay. And bad touches are not okay. So, Agent, go spread the word. Yes, Mom.
We play just like your kids. We text just like your kids. We learn. We even cook. We take selfies. We have hobbies. And we love sports. In every way, we are just like everyone else and enjoy the same things and live our lives every day, just like you do. So if you happen to meet us, treat us just like everyone else. Because at the end of the day,
we're just like you.
Living life with Down syndrome is simply living. To learn more about Down syndrome, call 727-2105. This message is brought to you by the Grand Bahama Down Syndrome Society.
When you want to save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you want to look good, who you gonna call? The Tile
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
1/3 of all traffic fatalities occur as a result of excessive speed. In the inner city, residential areas, and high pedestrian traffic areas, the speed limit ranges from 15 to 25 miles per hour. On the outskirts of the island, especially where a sign is not posted, the speed limit 30 miles per hour. The maximum speed limit is 45 miles per hour. On behalf of the Royal Bahamas Police Force Traffic Division, please slow down.
Look, I don't know who Shawnee think I am, all right? I only win 2 BAISS championships. I deal with connectivity.
Alive. What do we got?
Well, we are 100% Bahamian owned, and we inspired all Bahamians to believe in best. And we delivered on revolutionizing telecommunications in the Bahamas. Not to mention, our network works in the good days and the bad.
Thank you. But I need you to go faster. Be better.
A Defense Force Marine shot and killed in a police-involved shooting early this morning. Reports are that shortly before 4 this morning, officers on routine patrol ordered a suspect out of a vehicle parked near a vacant lot on Dunmore Avenue, Chippenham. Police say once on the outside, the male charged at one of the officers. An officer in fear of his life then discharged his weapon at the suspect, hitting him in the upper body. EMS rushed to the scene, pronouncing the male lifeless. Investigations continue. A male in hospital suffering from severe gunshot wounds following a shooting yesterday afternoon. Police say the victim got into an argument with another man on Bimini Avenue. The male produced a handgun, shooting the victim in the chest before leaving the scene. Police are investigating. Gunfire erupting on the Montague ramp overnight. Police say they were informed of 2 men being shot on that compound. The men rushed to hospital by emergency medical services. The 2 men were said to be approached by occupants of a small Japanese vehicle. A passenger produced a firearm and opened fire, hitting them about the body. Both victims are listed as serious. Investigations continue. And shortly after 9 p.m. still yesterday, police were called to Gambier Village, where another shooting took place. The victim is in hospital in stable condition. Investigations underway. The Bahamas National Youth Choir last year celebrating an iconic 30 years existence. And as Antoinette Smith tells us tonight, for year 31, the famous Bahamian chorale is looking to hit a high note. Here's that report.
A 2022 calendar jam-packed with high-profile events.
So we are in Carnegie Hall in May of this year.
And a couple milestones to hit along the way. The Bahamas National Youth Choir is gearing up for what some would call a triumphant year. And to start it off, they're scouting for something extra to add to the ensemble.
So our journey starts off quick. We're looking for people who are ready to hit the ground running. And then from there, we have been invited back to France. And so we're looking for, first of all, individuals who have a passion for music.
Hence the choir's ongoing virtual auditions, a pivot from the norm as officials steadily adjust their practices due to the COVID-19 pandemic. But for as much things have changed, they've also remained the same, as the chorale this year heads to the City of Love, where a 2-hour Bahamian ensemble before the France Festival Committee awaits, and this time they're not holding back.
I wish to increase the size of the choir. The traveling size of the choir normally is capped at 40. I wish to increase the number of participants, those who may not be willing to travel at this time. We understand, there might be some challenges, so we're looking for individuals, first of all, to start.
But for those who do join, according to choir director Dexter Fernander, an exciting year awaits.
We produced 3 music videos last year during the pandemic. We're looking at doing 1 more music video. But our focus is getting the choir ready for some of these big presentations. Tickets are already on sale at Carnegie Hall, and so we have to be ready for our presentation in New York.
Virtual audition submissions are set to close on January 15th. Anthony Smith, ZNS Network News.
Sounds like some good stuff. And as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all of you, all of our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. Just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Back after this.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Visit AID's newest location at Harbor Bay today. AID, all you really need and more.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
2022 is a year of positional manifestation.
My God.
I just said something. A year of positional. Now, I know you may have never heard that before. It means, my brothers and sisters, if you are positioned, you are ready for the manifestation. God is going to reveal himself in the lives of people who know their God.
Sundays at 8:30 a.m. on ZNS TV 13.
The Ministry of Health wishes to advise members of the public that prevention is key during this flu season. Practicing good cough hygiene can make the difference between you and your loved ones getting the flu or spreading the influenza virus. Good cough hygiene habits include covering your mouth and nose with a tissue when coughing or sneezing, and proper disposal of the tissue in a trash bin. Coughing or sneezing into your upper sleeve near your inner elbow and not your hands when a tissue is not available. Avoiding the use of handkerchiefs and towels as they hold germs, becoming a nest for the virus. And frequently washing your hands with soap and water, which is listed as one of the most important steps you can take to avoid getting sick and passing the virus on to others. If you have any questions about how to practice good cough hygiene to avoid catching or spreading the flu, contact your nearest community clinic or the Health Education Division at the Ministry of Health. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
One of the biggest challenges I face as a teen mother is support throughout the community. Instead of the community trying to uplift teen mothers, they insist on bringing us down and trying to tear down our self-esteem. Becoming a teen mother helped me to realize that I need to be more responsible. It helps me to focus on my decisions because I need not to decide for myself anymore. I have to make decisions for me and my daughter. In my opinion, seeking health services was excellent for me. Honestly, my biggest support, other than the nurses, was my Grammy. The advice that I give to other teens out there is to stay focused on your education. Stay focused on your self-goals. Set goals for yourself.
Omicron is the most transmissible variant yet, and Bahamians have a lot of questions. The Office of the Prime Minister is bringing together medical experts to discuss the new variant and how to stay safe. Please send us your questions about the virus, masks, testing, vaccines, a booster shot, and more. You can send those questions to opmcommunications@bahamas.gov.bs. Send them by Sunday, January 9th. Then join us on Tuesday, January 11th at 8 p.m. live on the Office of the Prime Minister's official Facebook page for a virtual town hall meeting to learn about the government's plan to fight the virus and to hear your questions answered by the experts. These are very challenging times, so let's work together against COVID.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
The new chairman of BAMSI looking to put down new roots. Chairman Terrell Young says as the COVID-19 pandemic continues to rage across the globe, food security must remain at the top of the agenda. He says we must be able to provide at least the basic food items for ourselves on a consistent basis, and we must be able to do that in a sustainable manner. Time now for a check on Family Island weather conditions across the country. Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean joins us. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Desmond. Outside of our studios this evening, we are under mostly clear skies. That's going to be temporarily. We'll tell you why that's going to happen. Temperature at 77 degrees. Relative humidity 73%. We have east-northeast winds at 5 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,020.4 millibars. That's 30.13 inches, and the pressure is rising. Temperatures around the islands this evening. They are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 73 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Green Torquay in Abaco, Marshall, Abaco at 75 degrees. 76 in the Berry Islands and Alliston, Bimini, 75 in Harper Island. Rock Sandy, Lutra, 78 degrees, 76 in Black Point, Exuma, and Kemps Bay, St. Andros. Fresh Creek and Central Andros have a temperature of 77 degrees. 78 in Otterstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rum Key, Georgetown, Exuma, 77 degrees. 78 in Ragged Island, Clownstown, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, and Acklands, Matthew Tiny, Nagua, and the Turks and Caicos Islands reporting 79 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. In the Northwestern Islands tonight, light and variable winds, flat seas 1 to 3 feet, low tide takes place at 8:22 this evening. In the Central and Southeastern Islands, easterly flow at 10 to 15 knots, and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Tomorrow, you can expect northeasterly winds at 15 to 20 knots throughout the 700 islands. Wave heights 4 to 7 feet over the ocean, so caution flags will be in place tomorrow throughout the 700 islands. Low tide will take place at 9:12 in the morning with a high tide at 2:57 in the afternoon. Now, as we take you into the middle of the week, Wednesday in the Northwestern Islands, the winds become northeast at 12 to 18 knots. Wave heights 3 to 6 feet. Caution flags remain in place. Low tide 10:10 in the morning, high tide 3:51 in the afternoon. For the Central and Southeastern Islands on Wednesday, northeasterly winds at 15 to 20 and the wave heights 4 to 7 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Slipping, dipping, dancing all across the floor. Whining, bumping, jerking, Lord, I'm holding my head. Well, listen, you can't blame me. It's this red and spread you see.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned. Extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Savings all year long are at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Soy's mayonnaise, 30 ounce, $3.99. Rainbow spaghetti and meatballs, 15 ounce, 2 for $1.50. Kraft macaroni and cheese, 7 ounce, 99 cents. Boneless chicken breast, $2.99 per pound. Sweet navel oranges, 4 pounds, $4.99. Shop Super Value and Quality Supermarkets and redeem your quality stamps at Bed Bath & Home.
While it's encouraging that the national COVID-19 vaccine rollout is going successfully, it's not the only precaution to reduce the spread of the virus in our communities. It's important to continue practicing safety protocols because it is our social responsibility to protect ourselves and to protect others.
Wash your hands for a friend with a weaker immune system.
Only read and share information from trusted sources to avoid unnecessary panic.
I'm gonna need y'all to avoid these large crowds. We could have loved ones at home who have underlying health conditions. Do it.
Practicing safety protocols is an act of brotherly and sisterly love.
The life you save may just be yours as well as your neighbor.
Together we will win.
We will win.
Well, what about me?
What about you, what?
Well, I thirsty too, you know.
You want to see all the water out there?
Well, why you don't give me your water, and then you go try and drink that salt water?
You crazy, eh?
I ain't the one talking to a dog, you know.
Ain't nobody can drink salt water.
Then why you won't give it to me? All dogs need fresh, cool water and sufficient shelter from the sun all year round, especially on the beach and during the hot summer months.
Summers are very hot here in the Bahamas, so please make sure all pets have ample, cool, fresh water in proper containers and sufficient shelter from the sun, even on the beach. And make sure all dog houses and kennels have proper ventilation. Let's make it Bahamian to be humane.
This message has been brought to you by the Bahamas Humane Society and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Colon cancer is the third most common cancer affecting Bahamians. Your risk of developing colon cancer is increased if you have a personal history of colorectal cancer or colon polyps, a family history of colon cancer, or inflammatory bowel diseases such as ulcerative colitis. Other factors that can increase your risk of developing colon cancer are low fiber, high fat diets, a sedentary lifestyle, obesity, smoking, and alcohol. You can take steps to reduce your risk of colon cancer by making specific lifestyle changes. Eat a variety of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. These foods contain fiber, minerals, vitamins, and antioxidants, which may play a role in cancer prevention. Drink alcohol in moderation or not at all. Do not smoke. Exercise with a goal of getting in at least 30 minutes each day. If you've been inactive, start slowly and gradually build up to 30 minutes. Also, talk to your doctor before starting any exercise program. Maintain a healthy weight. If you're at a healthy weight, maintain it by combining a well-balanced diet with daily exercise. If you need to lose weight, ask your doctor about healthy ways to achieve your goal. Colon cancer screening can also help to prevent colon cancer or lead to its early detection when treatment is most effective. If you're 45 years or older, speak to your doctor about having a colonoscopy or some form of colon cancer screening that may be appropriate for you. I'm Dr. Eugene Marcus Cooper. Pay attention to your health. Get the facts and discuss colon cancer with your physician today.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
New year, new time. Watch Conversations with Christ every Sunday at 10 a.m. And I tell you what, because I recently had someone ask me, they said, Daniel, how do I explain unemployment to my kids? How do I explain that I'm not working and we on welfare, we on government assistance? How do I explain that to my children? And the only thing I could tell them is one word, and that's temporary. Everything is temporary. Because see, when you walk by faith and not by sight, what you understand is that even though you don't see things changing, you don't have to see it, you just know that it's happening. And then he said, but it's been over 2 years. I haven't worked. So how do you explain temporary? And that's when I had to let him know that, hey, to God, one day is like 1,000 years. And 1,000 years is like one day. So don't compare today to forever. And that's what we're going to be talking about. So 10 a.m. Conversations with Christ every Sunday.
We're ready with the newly remodeled reception area. We're ready with your safety as our top priority. We're ready with state-of-the-art equipment, cutting-edge technology, and an enhanced patient information platform with online access to your reports for your physician. At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, we're ready to serve you. Open Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call to make an appointment today.
Michael, let me borrow your car, please.
Don, I tell you I have to get my car license.
How long I could take, man? Let's go there now.
Why you need my car so bad?
It's an old schoolmate, man. She'll meet up for lunch.
Well, I hope she's taking you somewhere nice because you know we ain't easily impressed.
You can pay for your license and inspections online now. They'll confirm your inspection appointment and bring the decal to your car.
I'm impressed.
Fixed and mobile services provided by Cable Bahamas Business Solutions helps our customers help their customers adapt to the new way of paying for things. Digital Wallets makes your transactions faster, more convenient, and secure. Whether it's using a debit card at the grocery store or making online payments for your monthly expenses, Digital Wallets powered by Cable Bahamas Business Solutions makes it better. For more information on our fixed and mobile services, contact the experts at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
This portion of the news brought to you by Genuine Care, keeping you home while you're away.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Klay Thompson has returned to the NBA after a 941-day hiatus. The Golden State Warrior hadn't played in an NBA game since the 2019 finals due to injuries. Thompson's debut saw 17 points in scoring in 20 minutes of play against the Cleveland Cavaliers yesterday. Well, Buddy Hield and the Suns on the court last night in NBA play. Hield played for 29 minutes with 7 rebounds and 2 assists. He ended the game with 10 points against Portland.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Do you have so much to do that you don't have a lot of time on your hands and haven't gotten around to getting your COVID-19 vaccine yet? Well, if you haven't, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine may be the one for you. It's one and done, and you're fully vaccinated for now. Yes, you only need one jab of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine to lower your risk of severe illness and death from COVID-19. Make your appointment now.
Best rate, no delays. Best rate, no delays.
BTC gives more savings on the best fiber internet. It's super fast with super savings in every package. Compare and see for yourself. Enjoy the best home internet experience for all your work, study, and entertainment.
Best rate, no delays. Best rate, no delays.
Visit a BTC store to sign up for the best internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
As an artist, I travel all over the world, and I find inspiration all around me. From the people, and especially the environment. I love the Bahamas with all its natural beauty. From Abaco in the north to Inagua in the south, and all the wonderful and colorful islands in between. But we must all do our part to keep the Bahamas healthy and clean, now and for the future generations. That's why I want you to find a little time to do your part. I'm doing my part because I care. Do you?
are the faces of resiliency, of strength and survival. You know their success, but do you know their stories? Join us for Season 3 of Journey TV, where they'll release exclusive details about their journeys with host Erlene Camille. Meet our team therapist, Philippa Dean.
Tune in every week right here on ZNS and Tempo.
Journey TV, we share life's truths.
I'm here at the Dixon Hill Lighthouse in San Salvador to let you know that marine protected areas make dollars and cents. A well-designed and managed network of protected areas can generate income for nearby communities. From MPA managers to lodges to eco-tours, there is money to be made.
Healthy marine ecosystems help to protect our islands from climate change and other impacts that we cannot control. Healthy coral reefs help to break down fake waves, and mangroves absorb storm surge and help to protect our coastline.
Older and larger fish tend to carry more and healthier eggs than younger fish. Fish replenishment areas will allow fish to grow bigger and ensure that we have more fish now and in the future.
In our replenishment area, fish are free to grow and reproduce. As their populations increase, more fish will spill over into other areas where fishermen can increase their catch and their income.
I support the establishment of a marine protected area on my island.
I support the establishment of marine protected areas on my island.
I support the establishment of marine protected areas on my island. I support the establishment of a marine protected area on my island, and you should too.
And you should too.
And you should too.
And you should too.
See the future with Bahamas Protected.
Hey y'all, what's up?
Hey, what's that?
What y'all getting?
Listen, I've been waiting to march down some lobster, yeah?
Hi, I'm Matthew. I will be you guys' waiter today. Can I take your order?
Oh, I've been queuing for some grouper tread.
Y'all see this?
See, this ain't gonna work.
Where the fish gone, though?
But how, though?
Don't leave our children with no fish in their future. Protect our sea. Protect our way of life. Protect the Bahamas. To learn how you can help, find us on Facebook at Bahamas Protected. See the future.
Hepatitis is the inflammation of the liver, which is the organ responsible for filtering toxins from the body, producing bile for digestion, and producing proteins and clotting factors. The most important cause of hepatitis worldwide is viruses, of which there are 5 main types: A, B, C, D, and E. Hepatitis B and C are major health challenges globally, affecting over 300 million persons worldwide. The suspicion of hepatitis may be a challenge, as there are typically no symptoms. However, if infected, non-specific symptoms may include a decreased appetite, nausea, vague abdominal discomfort, jaundice or yellow eyes, and abnormal liver function tests. If not treated, hepatitis of any type can lead to cirrhosis and liver cancer, which leads to over 1 million deaths worldwide. If you suspect you may have been exposed to the virus that causes hepatitis, talk to your doctor today and get tested.
This public service announcement is brought to you by the Public Hospitals Authority in conjunction with the Medical Association of the Bahamas and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, satellite pictures showing quite a bit of the wet stuff across the northwest Bahamas. That's all associated with a frontal system, which we expect to push through the northwest Bahamas late tonight and during the early morning hours. We have some prefrontal activity, which is generating some showers over parts of the area. So off and on, there will be some showers taking place. And there's a series of fronts that will move through over the next several days, maintaining the nice cool weather that we have become accustomed to. Tonight, though, we're going in for some heavy showers, particularly along that frontal boundary as it pushes through later on tonight. Otherwise, partly cloudy conditions. Low temperature tonight, about 68 degrees. And tomorrow, we're looking at mostly cloudy and breezy with a brief shower or two as that front will linger around, and there will be a couple more fronts that will push through that will maintain the cloudy conditions for at least about 3 days or so. 77 degrees will be your high temperature tomorrow, and your extended weather forecast, some of the wet stuff with cloudy conditions right into Thursday, but thereafter the skies will open up, lots of sunshine during the daytime, but most importantly, temperature-wise, we're going to be in the low 60s for quite a while, at least right through the weekend, heading into the early part of next week. But just before I leave, congratulations goes out to my son Jamal and his wife Tammy on the birth of their son. His name is Noel, and he came in at 9:31 this morning, making me a proud grandfather once again. So the names continue again. Desmond?
Thanks much, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas Tonight. On behalf of the entire team, thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
We're learning, even playing, we're having lots of fun. We're working with each other until the day is done.
2020 marked a turning point in the lives of many. The COVID-19 pandemic reshaped operations worldwide. In the sphere of education, it may have reshaped delivery, but work towards fulfilling the mission continued. This was definitely the case here at the Aaron Gilmore School for the Blind. We're going to take a look for the next few minutes into the world of staff and students here at this school. Established April 15th, 1949, the Aaron Gilmore School for the Blind has for decades acted as a place of solace and active learning for students who are visually challenged. Currently, 13 students are enrolled at the school, with 80% of them totally blind, while the other 20% experience low vision. Principal Nataki Beckford takes us back to March 2020 at the onset of COVID-19.
In the beginning, the greatest challenge